Hey, what's going on? This is Dick Starr, and you are listening to Tim O and the Harley Show, my sick and twisted delight. Toodles.
Welcome to the Tim O and Harley Show.
Thank you for listening to the Tim O and Harley Show. I am Tim O. Over there is my partner in mind crime, Mr. Ben Harley. Say hello, Harley.
What is happening, people?
Ben, more handsome than Richard Harris Harley. How the hell are you?
Real good, Tim. I'm doing better now after that comment.
I was going to say, that brighten your morning up?
Yeah, it sure did.
Nice. So,
thank you.
Had a lot going on over here in this, Mr. Ben Harley. This past weekend, we had a birthday party for Corey. I think he's 24 now at this point. Wow. Good gravy, huh? So we had
something else.
I know. So we had the party over at a casino, of course, over in St. Louis, because that's how my family rolls now. They're all aging into casinos. Basically. Yeah. So unfortunately, though, Mr. Ben Harley, I got sick and couldn't go. I got snot coming out of my head. Yeah, it was bad, real bad. I got whatever the hell's been going around the country for the last 3 months or whatever. Finally made its way to the hermit population.
That's right. It found you underground.
That's right, pretty much. Yeah. So, but that had a nice time. I asked Angie, and then my parents-in-law, Angie's mom and dad, they came over and they brought us. They brought us like an 8-foot tall, big wooden Bigfoot silhouette to put out in the woods.
That's awesome.
It's huge. It's in our garage right now. It's like giant. It's literally life size. It's giant.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's awesome.
So it's not like a full 3D, like Sasquatch, but it's like a black silhouette of one, but oh man, I'm going to kind of like try to fit it between a couple of trees in our back. So it looks like there's one peeking around a tree, as they say.
Right.
Yeah, so
that's awesome, buddy. But what a great present, huh?
Oh, I know. I was pretty excited.
You're gonna have to name it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I have to name it at some point.
Yeah. You know me. I name everything. So
it's got boobs on it or anything?
I don't think so. It doesn't. But okay. Yeah. So that being said, though, I do have a little sad announcement. We are not going to be able to attend the Ohio Bigfoot Conference this year. Yes, I have a Dead Kennedy show. With Ultraman right around that same time. So it sounds like Mr. Ben Harley and Mr. DVD Bob Slendorn and Mr. Danny Hicks. It's going to be Hicks season, Mr. Ben Harley.
That's right.
Right. So we got a lot.
Closer.
I know it is coming. It is getting closer. We're going to have a lot. We got a lot coming up, a lot to do. And here's the thing. We're all going to be here. We're going to have to find a way to do a show. Like a round table show.
Right.
I'm going to find some way to do it. Yeah. I'll have to figure that out. So maybe we'll have to literally put a round table up and put a couple microphones up, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You just solved that.
Yeah. That'll be fun to mix, I'm pretty sure. So,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to see you play, Timo. I haven't seen that happen yet.
No, I'm looking forward to having you guys in and having you guys see us play and having you actually step foot in a foo bar and stuff and actually put faces and visuals to names of places too. Because you actually haven't been around. Even Bob has been to foo bar. Danny's been to foo bar. Just about everybody except for Mr. Ben Harley, and he was waiting for his grand appearance. I'm pretty sure. That's what you were doing, So,
I'm waiting for the dead Kennedys to come into town.
Well, that's worth waiting for, I guess. Then makes sense to me. No. So,
no, Timo, I'm there to see Timo Saban.
Well, I'm going to come to Toledo and I'm going to watch you draw.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
Do that. So their beard and stuff, and cheer every time that stroke that you got. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but, play that's my favorite stroke right there. Play it.
Right.
Do it again.
That's my favorite color right there. So we got that going on. That's Ultraman. So that's going to be kind of fun. And we have Mark Denizak, the classic Ultraman drummer, sitting in with us that night.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately,
Okay.
Gabe cannot play. So we got Mr. Mark Denizak filling in, doing his duty.
Nice.
As the old drummer of Ultraman. And then actually, Fragile Porcelain Mice, we have a couple things coming up too. Actually, I don't think you're ever going to see this announced. I don't know this for sure. Okay. But we are doing a Mississippi Nights reunion show over in St. Louis right before the... I'm sorry, I don't have dates in front of me for any of this stuff. If you're interested, you can find this stuff on Facebook easy. Okay, so I don't have the dates in front of me. But going to do a Mississippi Nights reunion. I believe as you hear this, it'll be this week. So if it's not announced, this is the only place you're going to get a clue that we're actually doing it. Now, we're only going to play a few songs. But it sounds like they're getting a bunch of bands that played there over the years to do a few songs that are kind of jam. Okay. That's kind of like, I don't know about the jamming part, but I know we'll do a few songs. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Sometimes jamming with me. I used to do it, but the bartender used to get me drunk and they used to coerce me into doing it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Now, that's the way they saw it, Mr. Ben Harley, when I was young.
Right.
So I had a little bit of a name in town. So if I'd walk to like an open mic night, they'd want me to play. Ben Harley, I used to like to go to open mic nights because they thought they were goading me into playing. I was goading them into giving me free drinks.
There you go.
All those people are hams, right? We'll get up there and play. You know, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, but the things that mind erasers will get you, Ben Harley, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So we got Fragile, so we're going to do that. And then Nihilate is having a benefit. Their old drummer, Gary, whose nickname is Walnuts, he has cancer. And so we're going to go up there and do some support with them and play a benefit up in Springfield, Illinois. So we got a lot of gigs coming up. Not to mention,
you're on the road.
I know. Not to mention DVD Bob and Mr. Ben Harley and Danny Hicks.
Daniel Hicks.
That's going to be more than a Hicks season. This is going to be like a really it's going to be a rough Hicks season. It's going to be a lot of weather coming in.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to it, Timo. Really, seriously, I'm really looking forward to it. And that's nice. And I'm happy for you getting to play with the Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
I know. So that's one of your favorite bands.
It is. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. You should be. Yeah. So you're actually going to stick around and watch.
I don't think I'll have much of a choice this time. I'll have people in from out of town. Right. Yeah. So I have to stay. But I'm looking forward to it. And TSOL too. I mean, and they're really good. Yeah. I think I've played with TSOL before. Kind of hard to remember. Ultraman's played with just about every punk rock band you can shake a stick at. Let's see here. One more thing, Mr. Ben Harley. I did just mention we were not going to be able to do the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, correct? So that's not too excited about that. But someone that we met at the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, Mr. Michael Hall, who actually gave me the title of Bigfoot Researcher that I wear proudly and kind of snooty wise. I kind of wear it. Yeah. He actually is the lead in a new film that's in pre-production right now called Forest Dark.
I saw something about that. He's the sheriff, I do believe, in the film.
He's going to be a good sheriff, I can tell you right now. So I do believe that's in pre-production. Now, he was doing some other movie, too, that sounded really cool. He was working on it. It was a horror film about Robert Johnson's cursed guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of a neat idea, but I do believe that's gotten kind of... Well, it takes a little while to get a movie going sometimes, Mr. Ben Harley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Little while. So I think that's been put on the back burner as of now, and then they're going to be working on this Forest Dark movie. So check out Forest Dark, look it up, and keep updated with it.
Give them some support.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be very cool. And then I think they're looking for some T-shirts, Mr. Ben Harley.
Really?
They want to sport a couple of Timo and Harley Show T-shirts in the film.
Ah, really? Okay.
So we'll have to,
all right.
We'll have
Ship
to get
some
them
over there.
That's right. We'll have to get them some over there. So, but that's really about it, Mr. Ben Harley. Got a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to stay above the weather. I'm sure I sound a little raspy, a little hoarse, a little sick. But Ben Harley, the show must go on. I am a professional.
You're a trooper, Tim.
I am a trooper. How's your week been? I've been busy. How's your week been?
It hasn't been too bad, Tim. We're starting to pick back up here at the shop, which is good.
Yeah.
You got to pay bills, right? They keep coming. And
that's how you do it.
Yeah, exchange services for monetary gain. Yeah.
An old-fashioned fella. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still use a rotary phone, too?
No.
No, okay.
I would though. I would if I had one.
You're probably. They sounded better.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, it's going pretty good, Timo. Just plugging along, getting some work done around here finally, So
that's good. Well, we are one more thing too, Mr. Ben Harley, but as you hear this, people are probably like kind of standing there with tears in their eyes and little clouds over their heads because they've just gotten back from Horror Hound Cincinnati, did not see Timo and Harley.
Yeah.
Not going to make it this year. Got too much going on with Dermal Ridge. Your business is picking up, and the band's just getting too busy, Mr. Ben Harley. I'm getting sucked back into almost a full-time musician. Yeah, it's kind of happening.
Can't stop rock and roll, Timo.
I can't. I've tried. I did a good job for a while, but it's pushing back. It's pushing back.
That's good, though.
Well, I got to watch.
It's good to have you back.
Well, that's. I guess it's good to be back. We're still doing the show, though. I ain't stopping that. You can't stop the show.
No,
you can't stop it. The show itself is kind of rock and roll. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
We're kind of rock stars, Tim, on our own, right?
Yep. This rock star here watched
the Burt Reynolds band. You never know when it's going to break.
That's right, Burt Reynolds. Well, that's right. Hey, speaking of rock and roll, we're going to have Mr. Mark Diamond on. We've been talking to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Online for a little bit, and I keep saying we're going to have him on. I just need to get the date going with him and have him back on. I think he wants to talk a little bit about Humanoids from the Deep.
I think so. Yeah. He's a good man, let me tell you. Anybody who likes that movie.
Yep.
Good man.
Absolutely. So, anyway, so this rock and roller here, Mr. Ben Harley, did get to watch a few things. Let's run through this. Me and Angio watched Bela Lugosi meets the Brooklyn Gorilla.
Come on.
Yeah. So this is a.
Come on.
This is a. I'm sure you've seen. This is a public domain Bela Lugosi stinkeroo. This is one of these GP. Now it's a weird comedy. Okay. With Duke Mitchell. Now, Duke Mitchell did a movie I think I sent you to review. It was Duke Mitchell. Duke Mitchell's Murder Mafia Style or Massacre Mafia Style.
Yeah.
It's called, so this is starring the same Duke Mitchell many years before that film and Sammy Petrillo. Now, if you haven't heard of these clowns, they are the fake versions of Martin and Lewis. So the Sammy Petrillo guy, it was sued by Jerry Lewis for stealing his shtick. The guy looks like a really whiny bastard version of Jerry Lewis. And then Duke Mitchell plays a Harold Hansen crooner guy. So the story is they jump out of an airplane, safely land on a jungle island. All right. Then they are taken in by the indigenous New York City savage natives because, they're all casted from Central Casting. They're supposed to be in a jungle, but they all have like good haircuts, and New York accents and stuff. But and then they romance blooms for Duke Mitchell.
Oh,
yeah. But then the whining and the horrible imitation of Jerry Lewis ensues. For Sammy Petrillo. This is a really curious film because this is the last remaining surviving footage of these two clowns doing their thing. It's horrible. I mean, just like if you see these guys, you're like, oh, it's painfully unfunny to the point where it's hypnotic to watch it because it's so bad. You're like, oh my goodness, But really interesting, though, and it's everywhere. You can find this movie on any free streaming site because it's public domain. So Bela Lugosi meets the Brooklyn Gorilla. I highly advise not watching it. Okay, so moving on.
That good.
That good, yes. On Amazon Prime, a newer film called The Phoenix Incident.
Okay.
It's a found footage movie about the, quote, real Phoenix Lights. Not the ones they showed you on the TV. These are the real ones. Yeah. It uses every cliche in the found footage book. Every single one. Seemingly on purpose. Really? It almost seems like it's like out of nowhere, you'll see like a little technique that you've seen in every other found footage movie in a really awkward place. Like, okay, you just had to stick that in there, didn't you? I did not like this film. I thought this was horseshit. It was bad. Yeah, just that. Let's see here. But moving on, Mr. Ben Harley. Also, Amazon Prime watched a movie from 1985, although it looks like it's more like between 78 and 83. maybe not
Okay.
5-year period there, not 85. Watched a movie called The Strangeness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's people, they go down into a mine and are attacked by a legendary stop motion vagina monster. Yeah. It's sort of a cross between a pile of dung and the Boogans, I guess, something around in there.
Oh, wow.
It was, I gotta admit to you, it was one of those movies that was so weird and like, people spent time and money on this. Yeah. So it's sort of like, again, kind of hypnotizes you in its ineptitude. Yeah. I cannot recommend looking at it. I don't think you're going to think it's a great movie. But yeah, it's like a cross between My Bloody Valentine and the Boogans. It's like a stop motion vagina monster down in the mine. Yeah. And
why not?
Yeah. Pretty weak reasons for going down in the mine, but as they always are. Yeah. So, again, it's called The Strangeness. The Strangeness.
Okay. From 85.
85. Yes. Let's see here. Watched another movie on Amazon Prime called Der Samurai.
Oh,
loosely translated The Samurai.
The Samurai?
Yeah, yeah. 2014 German film. A young police officer, German. Young police officer knows that there is a wolf lurking about on the outskirts of town, and he's been feeding it because he thinks if he feeds it away from town, it'll keep the wolf away from town. But Mr. Ben Harley, of course, because he's doing this, he gets a package in the mail with a sword in it.
Oh.
Yeah, because that makes a lot of sense, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And so then...
Is it from the wolf?
Yeah, and then he goes out into the woods with said package, finds a weird house, goes into it, and there is a cross-dresser, a transvestite, who is in said house. And then said transvestite says, "Aha, my sword. You've delivered it to me." So he mailed the sword to the cop for the cop to walk it back to him. And then the guy in the dress walks around town slicing and dicing everybody up while the cop follows him around and tries to talk him out of it.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I know. You heard me right.
So where's the wolf in all this?
You got me. I don't know what the hell. I think the wolf kind of lives out with the guy and then kind of helps. This is it's like if David Lynch was German, which is not a good start really for anything. And I mean like German. He probably is. Yeah. But I'm just saying it was, I kept watching it. It's if you have problems with this stuff, it's a little homoerotic. I actually don't have a lot of problems.
There's a transvestite.
Well, I know, but they're between the cop and the guy. There's a lot for a mainstream film. There's some stoners and boners in it. But I mean, that stuff doesn't really bother me that much, but I guess and I don't mean in a hateful way. Sometimes it just bothers people. You might not hate guys in horror films, but you might not want to see someone's eyes getting gouged out, right? So it's that kind of thing. So if you have an issue with that at all, do not watch this film. But it's short. It's like an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes long. It is interesting because you're like, what the fuck is going on? And so
where the wolf went.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like they catch the guy with the transvestite guy, and the cops are driving, and a wolf attacks the cop car, and the transvestite guy escapes. But they don't. It's not explained well. Nothing is. So but it is interesting. It's shot pretty well and everything. But
just go with it, right?
Just go with it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I wouldn't suggest if you are someone who is like myself, who every now and then likes the weird, if you're the initiated who likes this kind of strange stuff. Okay, you can check it out. If you can't get through like the first 15 minutes, just turn the fucker off. But I'm just saying it has the entertainment and the focus of a commercial film. But it interjects a completely bizarre. I mean, David Lynch might go, "No, man, you're weird. I'm not doing this one." So it's that kind of strange, but it got me through the whole film. Anyway, again, it's called Der Samurai. So Now, last
Which
but not
means
least, Mr.
it's,
Ben Harley,
Yeah.
going along with one of our official little films for this week, we watched the film before one of the official films this week. We watched Curse of Frankenstein from 1957.
Oh, okay.
One of our official films this week is Revenge of Frankenstein, which picks up.
Oh, I might have lost.
Well, it picks up the second that this one ends.
Okay.
So,
oh, really?
Yes. So it's the actual when Byron Frankenstein is getting sent to the gallows. That's where the Curse of Frankenstein ends. So it's literally like almost a 3-hour movie. Like it's exact same thing. So you know what? Not too bad. We'll talk about it more when we're talking about Revenge of Frankenstein. Because I think it was interesting. I've never done that before. It was interesting to watch them back to back.
Oh yeah,
it really was interesting, actually. But that's what I got, Mr. Ben Harley. What you got? What you got for me?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah. Hold on. What do you like?
I'm putting you in a dress and I'm throwing you out in the woods.
Yeah. Oh, let's see, Timo. I'm trying to segue into what we were just talking about. Let's see. Okay, well, we've been talking about a lot of
we got Frankenstein and dresses. So
yeah. Well, I don't think I got anything close to that. But,
good.
Let's stick. We were talking about some rock and roll earlier, so
yes.
I did have a on my AXS TV.
Oh, okay. Hey, by the way, which I did confirm that is on Sling TV. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like it. So I was able to tape Cheap Trick live at Red Rocks.
Oh, I bet you like that.
Man, yeah. Well, it was nice because it was only like 50 minutes long or something, but they really played a lot of songs that I like, in the set. So that was really cool.
Right.
And some you don't hear too often. Mm-hmm. So nice. And what a great venue, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Holy
you kidding me? Oh, my God. Yeah. I'd love to see something there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Insane. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Timo, I've been, on a wacko trip lately, or freak out.
Yeah.
Me and David Koresh,
your cult brothers.
Yeah, exactly. And the Waco kid. Too,
Yeah.
I like the Waco kid.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. But, I've been watching, it's also on Amazon Prime. It's called Waco Rules of Engagement. And this is a lot of the real footage.
Oh, right. Yeah. I've
and
seen
also
that.
when they go to Congress and all the testimony and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bizarro. Just bizarro. Both sides. Just so bizarro. It's but it really puts a lot of things in perspective when you watch it like that,
Yeah.
I know it was all over the television when we were younger and stuff like that when it happened too, but this it's just awful.
It comes,
the whole
for me,
situation. So awful.
the whole thing comes down to ego.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but it's like, I know the cult guys were they had some guns and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's like, okay, so it's like the government's ego versus a cult leader's ego. I mean, come on, who's going to win that? The government needs to be the adult.
Yeah, but it's like a 2-hour documentary. It's really, really interesting. But you have to like documentaries and some dry speak and stuff.
Right.
But some of it's just shocking, man. You're like, so on both sides,
sure.
So for sure. But kind of crazy. Also, there was a thing like the Lost OJ tapes. Another documentary I watched here recently. That's also quite eye opening as well. You know, so
he admitted it now.
Yeah,
I think I saw a news report that since it's double jeopardy, he can't get tried for it again. So now he's just basically coming out saying, "Yeah, I did it."
Yeah,
and there's a collective in the country. Like anyone's shocked by this at all?
Run, OJ, run! I remember where I was when OJ was on the run.
Oh God, yeah. Well, there was that. Do you remember that show? What was it on A&E? It was a real long show about the OJ trial and all that. It was a long series, and one of the jurors, just a real nice old black lady, was sitting there, and she straight up 100% said that verdict was about Rodney King. It had nothing to do with OJ. They all knew he was guilty. They all did. And she said that. She said, we all did, but this was about Rodney King. I'm like, okay. But I mean, I think this is where the it's turned this way, where it's like, I'm looking at it like, I like real cut and dry logic, like cut and dry stuff. I don't like this kind of stuff because I can't follow it. Like, okay, so what did OJ have to do with that? I mean, OJ was pretty rich, and all you did was show that a rich guy could get off a murder again. That's all I saw from it. But maybe because I'm not a hateful son of a bitch. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you showed in this too how much more instrumental he was in that with the lawyers and all that stuff too. He played it just as much as anybody. But interesting both documentaries. I'm me and my documentaries, Timo. So
I like them too.
Yeah. Oh, I know you do.
Yeah.
So this isn't any lighter of a note, but I've been watching the episodes of The Pacific, which is the Tom Hanks Spielberg produced. It's like a 10-part. It's kind of like Band of Brothers,
like a World War II.
Yes,
it's naval, right?
War in the Pacific.
Okay.
What's that?
Is it more of a naval film?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Actually, no, Tim. It's mostly about the Marines. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Well, that is the Navy, right?
They were the first. Well,
I thought the Marines and the Navy were like kind of quietly like a part of the same.
Yeah, they got to get them there. Right?
Well, that's true. Yeah,
you got to get it right somehow.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a film though; it's a TV show, right?
Yeah. Well, it was made for like HBO.
Okay.
So they're 10-part, 1 hour episodes. Give or take a few minutes, whatever.
Right.
But very interesting. As far as horror goes, these are pretty horrible as like what you're witnessing. I've watched a few like back to back and after a while it's almost like, I got to take a break.
Right. Oh God. Yeah.
And I mean, I can't, and I'm like, holy crap. I could only imagine, and going back to watching Private Ryan, things like that. It's awful to think that still, that stuff happened. And I remember, even when I was younger, stuff that stuff seems like it was a million years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it thinking, you know what, that was like 20, some of the stuff I was watching, like that was only like 25 years before I was born. That's not
Isn't that weird as you get older? Do you think that? I think that, unfortunately, it's mostly with me, it's movies. Yeah. I'm like, but I do think that. I do, but I, exact same thing. I'm like, man, that was old because of your kids.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to explain things to your kids that happened before they were born, you start thinking about how the difference in time when you were a kid to things your parents were telling you. And it is weird, isn't it?
It seemed like a million years ago, a whole different time, but it's just, I find it more too going back and seeing footage from the time period of when we were kids and stuff. I'm thinking, holy crap!
Yeah,
is there going to be a horse-drawn carriage coming by? Like, holy Jesus!
Back when Amish people were really Amish.
Oh man, look at some of the cop cars from back then.
Like,
holy mackerel! But
they look like police stations on wheels.
It's insane. But they're very well acted. They're, it would take me a couple times, going back to watching it again to figure out who's who. There's a lot of people, they do key on some of the main characters, but there's also a lot that come in and out.
Yeah.
We weave through the document, or not documentary, but through the show. So, very good. I do recommend it. Anybody who's a history buff and or a war buff, but like I said, they're very, very violent. And bloody, and you're going to see things that I don't know. You might have to. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's very good. It is good, and we do need to remember those time periods too.
Absolutely. Angio's dad suggested that to me years and years ago. I do have it on disc. I just haven't watched it yet, and look, the guy brought me an 8-foot tall Bigfoot silhouette, so we're gonna have to listen to this guy. All right,
yeah, you might have to.
Now. So
the guy's got something,
right? Between you and him, I think I might have to stick this in. I did see Band of Brothers when it was out. I might
really
have rented it. I did too, but I understand what you're saying about it's a lot of characters, and most of the time they're greasy and dirty and bloody, and it's like it's real hard to tell a lot of these guys apart. But I thought Band of Brothers was pretty good. So, and I'm sure Pacific is that kind of like a sequel. Almost not like a sequel, but it's almost like a follow up, like another little series.
Exactly. And I'm not gonna get up on a soapbox by any means, but like I think sometimes Pacific is the theater in the Pacific is lost or has been in the last so many years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
We were attacked by Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And those guys fought tooth and nail to, like I said, to the last breath
Right.
You know what I mean? To hold these little bitty islands and stuff, and so
well, they were dicks. I mean, to China and everything. I mean, the rape of was it Nanking or whatever. I mean, all that stuff is. It's amazing to me. Yeah. Did you ever think about? And I'm sure you have, because we both just had a moment together where we both think about the past and how far things blur back and stuff. Do you ever sit there and think about do you ever look at like a world map and look at this little place Japan and wonder how they caused so much fucking damage? It's like, where's all the people coming from?
Right.
You know,
exactly.
I mean, it's like I understand if they had Godzilla and stuff after it, but it was like, man, it's just amazing how this little country causes so much havoc to like China. I think in a one-on-one hand battle, China might win that one, but Japan went in there and kicked their ass for a long time. It's just unbelievable to me. It's insanity to begin with. It's all insanity.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just just showing. They do show a lot of stuff on the maps there, which is kind of good for me. When you start off, I'm like, oh, okay, now I know where I'm at.
Right.
And then, but they just saw all those little islands out there too, and they're going from island to island, and just happened to, it's just it's tough.
I know what you're saying though, and they were brutal. So I mean, they're probably more brutal than the Nazis. Yeah, actually, Nazis were more systematic. That's what was creepy about them, was the systematic murder, and with Japan, it was like, bonsai. No offense. It was like just slice and dice through people, man. So glad those days are over.
Yes. Yeah, me too, Timo. Okay, I'll do a couple more things too, real fast, Timo. All right, I'm playing my Alien Isolation game.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know.
Look out behind you. Look out.
Exactly, buddy. My nerves are shot, Timo. I can't. And I don't know if it's just because, growing up, I mean, nowadays too, a lot of these games, it's surpassed me. Like I said, I'm years, like probably 20 years behind most of these kids. I mean, because it's going so fast, even though I'm probably only about maybe 5 years behind.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more. But anyways, also growing up playing or watching Alien, maybe it has a little bit more of an effect on me. I haven't played a lot of these games too, where there's a few out there like this one, but I don't know, Timo. I'm scared to death. I'm done. I'm trying. The other day I got past. I was telling you I was getting attacked by these synthetics or the androids,
right?
And so I figured out a good way. You sneak around. But if they catch you, but I figured I can outrun them. So a couple times I just got tired. I did a 40-yard dash and just got past them and went. No, you really can't do that with the Alien. I think the other day I was. I had a gun. I found a gun, and I said, "I'm going to shoot you," and it didn't matter. It really didn't matter. So it still ate me twice.
Now, what button do you push to set your hair on fire, run down the hallway, and see if that'll?
Well, you'll appreciate this, Tim. I was playing the game the other day, and the Alien. Like I said, I got to a point now where it came out of the ceiling and it's lurking around, and you have to find a passcode, and you have to go put a passcode in. While the thing it's coming basically after you, and you're waiting for the door to open. Well, I got in and I found what I was looking for, but then I got attacked and eaten. And then the thing is, like I said, I can't take it. I can't take the pressure, Tim. Right. And it's funny too, because you're like, oh, you can hide in certain spots. You can hide in lockers and stuff. Well, I thought that was good, all well and good till the other day. It came up and then it said it put on the screen, push L2 to hold your breath. And I thought, what the hell? And it ripped I was inside a locker, it ripped the door off the locker and ate me. And I'm like, God, darn it. But it's just funny because, as we are growing up watching that movie, it's just, I don't know, I'm petrified. It's like like if you're playing a video game, like you're swimming around and a Jaws is coming after you, I'm scared. So the other day, Tim, I was just getting done. I was like, I'm done. I can't play anymore. I'm too on edge. And the Alien was lurking around and I was hiding again. I thought, I'm coming out all guns blazing. I did have a pipe wrench. But I must tell you, a pipe wrench against an alien doesn't work too well. But I will say, I think I actually scared the alien. So, kudos to me. I came out. I don't think you expected me to come out swinging a pipe wrench at it. But
I wouldn't think so, no.
It lasted about 3 seconds. So, but yes. Oh, damn it, that game. I can't take it. It's too edgy. It's too edgy. I'll get back to you. Maybe we'll see. Last but not least, Timo. I watched some Mystery Science as well.
Oh, nice.
I'm not quite finished with it yet. I tried to finish it up. But is it called Time of the Apes, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's like
where'd you find that at?
It was on my Roku or Shout.
Shout TV.
Fact,
I gotta get over there and start watching those. I just
they got tons of them.
I know,
them, which is good. But it's a ripoff of Planet. It's like a Japanese version of Planet of the Apes.
Yes,
or Chinese. I think it's Japanese. I don't know. I don't want to upset them. So.
No, I know. I've seen it.
Oh my goodness! But there's a lot more it's like I don't know. There's a little bit of Ultraman mix in there as far as like there's a lot of shoot 'em up and there's
right.
It's not just I don't know. It's a little bit different from Planet of the Apes and not in a good way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Not in a good way, but pretty funny. I've never seen that one before, but I do.
Is it a Joel one or a Mike one?
It is a Joel one.
Okay.
I do believe. Yes, sir. It's a Joel one. Yeah.
I don't remember if I've seen the movie. I can't remember if I've seen.
Awful.
I can't remember if I've actually seen a Mystery Science Theater version of that or not.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, they're the masks are pretty hideous because it's funny. There's a little kid that runs around. It's like. Oh god, he kind of looks like a little Ewok, kind of, but he's supposed to be an ape. It's funny, but
I did see on Amazon, not Prime, but just on Amazon to rent or buy. Rift Tracks got some new ones up. One of them being Grizzly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
So Rift Tracks has a Grizzly episode on there. So.
And wait, Timo, I apologize. I mean, it's more a little bit like Johnny Sacco's robot with
I got you.
Different, spider, and they got the different fact, it's more like I said, shoot 'em up and stuff like that kind of too.
Right.
So.
That sounds good though. I need to get over there to Shout TV because it's free. I mean, you have to watch ads. The thing that's really that's gotten
they're
me.
Not too bad. It's not like it doesn't beat you over the head with it.
Well, yeah, because that's the problem I had is I kept pausing them. Yeah. And I think the more you pause and start and stop those things, they throw more ads at you. So you really need to sit down and just watch the thing, I think, all the way through. And I haven't had the chance to do that yet, but I really want to. I mean, we don't normally sit on a TV. Me and Angie don't usually sit on a TV that has a Roku on it.
Yeah.
Like when we're hanging out, we watch. I have an LG TV. I just use the smart features on that. And it's not Roku. Now, every other thing in the house is Roku. Everything.
Yeah.
We have like 4 Roku TVs. And then I have a Roku set up in our little hideaway area too. Just haven't gotten over to Shout TV, but yes, I need to. I definitely need to.
Yeah, it's really good. They have some real good stuff on there.
Well, it's good movies and stuff too, and special features from movies that they'll show you. Yeah. I remember. I thought it was pretty cool. Do they have a pay site? Is there a pay version to their site? Do you know?
I'm not sure, Timo. There might be. There might be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good. Since I got the new internet, it runs much better upstairs. So I've been watching a lot more and actually enjoying it. But they put out a lot of that Mystery Science. I mean, I can't keep up.
Right.
And I've probably watched 30 or so episodes on there. And they keep getting new ones all the time. And so
it's pretty amazing.
It's good.
Yeah, because it's on. I think they're putting the classic episodes up on Netflix again too now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, the Amazon Prime is freaking devoid of any new Rift Tracks. I don't know if they still have some Prime ones or not because I already went through all of them. Okay, but I might go back to it. I want to watch Zindy the Jungle Boy again.
That's on there. Actually, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on there. If not, it was on the Roku.
But then I want to buy some too. I want to buy some of them too. So I don't know, but I can't get enough.
Time of Apes.
Yes. All right. Well, I'll get that. I'll get on that one too for sure. So let's get to our official little films, Mr. Ben Harley, for this week.
Okay. Sure.
Let's see. First up here from 1958. We already alluded to this before. It is the sequel to The Curse of Frankenstein from 1957. This is The Revenge of Frankenstein.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
Let me get that movie guy here and do a Short storyline synopsis here for the Revenge of Frankenstein. All right, here we go. I love how they all say, I'm Frankenstein. It's like, you can't drop your British accent for one word and convince us all this is in Germany. Stop it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Rescued from the guillotine by his devoted dwarf Fritz, the Baron Victor Frankenstein relocates and becomes Dr. Stein. Under the guise of charity work, he continues his gruesome experiments, this time transplanting Fritz's brain into his latest creation, a normal, healthy body. Dun, dun, dun. And there is the Achilles heel for this film, right there. I'm going to start off by saying this. The Achilles heel of this film and other Frankenstein films. All right, now this is tough for me, Ben Harley. Okay. Because the Achilles heel is that there is no traditional Frankenstein monster in it. Mm-mm. And what bothers me, I think it kind of like, I think it makes the movies a little less fun. All right. Here's the positive part of that. This is why it's hard for me. Because it once again highlights who Frankenstein is. Yeah, Peter Cushing is Frankenstein, right. You know. And I'm just going to start with this. Peter Cushing is the best Frankenstein because, man, he plays Frankenstein as a dick.
Yeah, he does.
Big dick. And he's done it. He did it his whole Hammer career. And I love Frankenstein as a dick because he does become the monster of the story. Yeah. Really does. What'd you think, Mr. Ben Harley?
Timo, I don't know, buddy. This one's a little slow for me. This, it's not a bad movie, but I kind of had a hard time with it. I do like the fact that Peter Cushing, because he is he's helping out like the like homeless and stuff, right? And it's
he's got like an institution for the poor, and so he's not real nice to him, but he's basically using it. He is helping them, but he's using it as a front for body parts and stuff.
Yeah. Because it was hard for me at first because I'm like, he was kind of being, because also he's not real nice to the other doctors too, like the League of Doctors or they
the
want
medical
him
board
in
around there.
Yeah, they want him on the board or whatever, right? I believe,
so
and he refuses. Yes. And he refuses and stuff. So, you kind of, I kind of felt for him, but then behind the scenes too, he was still even jerkier. I'm like, oh God, okay. And
he's cantankerous.
And he's kind of getting blackmailed by a guy who ends up becoming like his assistant.
Right.
So I did like some of that stuff, but it moved real slow for me. And then like, he does transplant the brain of his little dwarf, his devoted little dwarf.
Yeah.
devoted little dwarf.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say little dwarf because I guess that's an oxymoron right there. So,
I don't think the guy was a dwarf to begin with. He might have been like slightly shorter than average, but that was about it. He was hunched over. He was
more of a hunchback.
He was a little gimpy. Yeah.
But, the movie's okay, and it picks up a little bit towards the end for me. The end was really kind of neat. There's not enough Frankenstein's monster either for me, I think. Yeah. But in a way, that's good. Because Frankenstein he is a jackass and kind of gets his comeuppance there at the end.
Right.
And I tell you what, I don't know if that was really Peter Cushing, but they put a whooping on him, like homeless. Put a whooping on him, and man, he looks like he really took the whooping too. I was like, wow, he's playing that pretty good. Is that Peter Cushing? Or is that really a dead body? I'm like, God, and then true. But I don't know, Timo. I had a hard time with this one, just as far as how the pace of it, I guess, moved for me.
Yeah. Now this is Michael Ripper's first Hammer horror film.
Okay.
So he had a Ramones wig on in the beginning. That's what got us watching this damn movie, because I was like, look, Michael Ripper in a Ramones wig, I'm in. That's all there is to it. You know what? I did, like I said earlier in the show, I did watch Curse of Frankenstein, where Christopher Lee plays the Frankenstein monster, and Peter Cushing is still, and it literally, like in the beginning of this film, they are walking him out to get his head chopped off. And that's the end of Curse of Frankenstein. So this is literally picks up almost like Carpenter's The Thing versus that quote prequel The Thing. Right, seamlessly right up to it. Now, this to me was an infinitely better written, produced, everything. Really? It just suffers from not having that, I don't know if it's a MacGuffin or what, but not having that traditional Frankenstein monster in it. Yeah. And some of these Hammer movies are a little like that. What was the one with where they turn the guy into like a cave gorilla guy? Remember that one? I mean, so there was that one. Now there is another Hammer Frankenstein movie where they actually have a traditional like square-headed Frankenstein monster. Yeah, going through it too. And that one looks a little silly. Kind of like that Mummy movie where all his bandages were brand new. That we watched, kind of silly like that. But I just really think it suffers because I think the movie around it and the story is really good. Much better than the first one. Much more intriguing. You know, with all the backstabbing, all the I mean, he's running the clinic. They got the medical people after him. I mean, for God's sake, Peter Cushing kills a guy by just looking at him in this movie. in the cemetery, gives him a heart attack. Just, so there's a lot I really do like. It is just an Achilles heel flaw to this film, I think, is not to have. Because yes, Fritz, he's gimpy. Now he's not a dwarf, but he's gimpy and he's got like a droopy eye and he's not handsome to the lady folk. So Frankenstein's gonna transplant his brain into more of a Harold Hansen pants. Michael Gwynn, who was actually in Village of the Damned and Jason the Argonauts. The guy was in Barabbas, for God's sake. So he's been in a few movies. Wow. Yeah. So it wants to put him in there. So, and as the movie goes on a little bit, he of course successfully does this, but then Michael Gwynn starts kind of looking more and more like Fritz. Like he kind of gets gimpy, and he starts. But it's never creepy enough to work. And then he just like kills himself. I mean, he just like offset, and they don't even show it. They just show a burning shoe, and I just that bothered me. But I still love Peter Cushing's Frankenstein, so I'll watch it. Him and Colin Clive to me are Frankenstein. Yeah. Just different versions of Frankenstein. This movie was directed by Terrence Fisher, who did The Horror of Dracula, Curse of Frankenstein, all the classic Hammer movies, and written by Jimmy Sangster, who, again, wrote all the classic Hammer stuff. So this has got everybody right in place. But now, this isn't the first Hammer movie, though, that we've watched, where you got great production, great acting, a really interesting story. Not enough monster to hold it together, though. Right. It's really not the first. And the more you look at it, the more you think, if Hammer had a flaw, sometimes it didn't know how to make a monster. All right?
Right. Yeah, I just think I could have helped out a little bit more. Yeah. I just, even if once Fritz got his body, if he'd have done a little bit more damage. I know he does attack like one woman, which, okay, come on. I mean, I just think it would have been... if he'd have done some more menacing, I guess, or something too. Now, I did like there was a part where he's in the laboratory or whatever, and then one guy, a big guy with oh crap, I can't remember his name, but he comes in and they end up big guy like putting the whooping on him, like Fritz in his new body, but then Fritz finally gets tired of it, and kind of beats the guy up, and chokes him out, and then you're like, Then from that point on, it did ramp up. A lot more, but I did enjoy the ending though, Tim. I thought the ending was kind of cool. I know they're doing the whole Count Alucard thing in this, or Dr. Stein and Dr. Frank. So
I told you that when we were watching Blackenstein. I know his first name is Frank and his middle name is N. It's Stein.
Right. So did you notice too, Tim? There's a part right at the end where they go to London and the street that the name of the street that Dr. Frank...
Harley Street West?
That's right. That's right.
That's right. So, yep, I saw that. Yep.
So
prominently displayed.
There. Yeah, very big and huge.
That was a nod to Ben Harley, for sure. Thank you. I know it. Yep. I know it was a nod to Ben Harley. Yeah.
Exactly. I was very excited about that. So.
Well, it's funny, too, is that I have another issue, not quite as bad as with calling the monster Frankenstein, but Baron Frankenstein was actually Victor Frankenstein's father. And
Oh,
he was
right,
the Baron in the book. So,
He was the
so they
Baron,
kind of fudged that over in these movies. Look, I'm just going to give this a mild grape A pub. I actually like it, but it just bothers me that the kid in me wants to see, even if it's a goofy monster, wants to see a monster. I brain transplant, that's all well and good, but I can watch like Bugs Bunny or Three Stooges and get that kind of thing.
You didn't like the floating eyes in the fish tank.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny when he was putting the fire by the hand. The eyes were like, yeah, the bug eyes. Yeah, I did think that was pretty funny. There was some pretty funny floating eyes in both of our official films this week. But first up, Revenge. I'm going to give it a mild grape A pub. Again, I like Hammer. I love Peter Cushing in this, and everything is like great to me. And I think I enjoyed the story a lot more than you did. It's the kid in me just is screaming out for some sort of monster, even a bad one.
Yeah.
To laugh at, but didn't really get one in this. So mild grape A pub for Revenge of Frankenstein.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to give it on the fence. Yeah, it's okay. I think it suffered a little bit. God, but I appreciate.
Ramones wig didn't even get you.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Tough audience. Gee whiz.
I'll tell you, though, I appreciated the nod, though, from Harley Street.
You go.
That was very nice. I appreciated that.
Made it all worth
yesterday.
It did all worth it. So. All right, let's get to our next official film for this week, Mr. Ben Harley from 1981. Yes. We have the Indonesian film, The Warrior.
Yes,
otherwise titled Jaka Sabung, which I do believe is the name of the hero. The warrior of the film, so to speak. So let me get you a short storyline. One sentence, Mr. Ben Harley. Can you imagine a one sentence? Okay, here we go. Jaka Sabung is an Indonesian Robin Hood with magical powers who fights evil Dutch imperialists. That's one way of looking at it. Those guys were Dutch. Okay. The Warrior. This is an Indonesian movie starring Barry Prima, who was he was like an action star in Indonesia. He did a bunch of these warrior movies and did some other movies too. Actually, what was he in that? Hold on a second here. He did The Devil's Sword. I think I might have sent you that. That's another like nutso movie, kind of like this one. And he did Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters. Have you ever seen that?
No, but
you haven't.
You got me intrigued.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
It's an Indonesian movie about, believe it or not, about women wrestlers. So I've seen it. But I think Troma put it out in a version that was like Woody Allen's What's Up, Tiger Lily? I think the movie was called. And they redubbed it. So they redubbed it as with like a comedy thing going on. Now, Woody Allen took this movie, this Asian like spy kung fu movie, and then he had him and his buddies dub it, and it was all about a recipe that they were all trying to fight over. And so Barry Prima is you've seen him before. Actually, Angio brought up a great familiar. Angio brought up a great point that he looks exactly like Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
so I was like, that's true. That's spot on, actually. So that's why he looked familiar, because he was like, I thought he was Pauly Shore. But this is an insane movie. This is one of those like Turkish type movies where you just do not know what's going on. If you cut off some dude's arm or some shit, it does not mean his arm's cut off.
No.
It just means you got to find a rope thin enough to on screen not notice enough when it flies back on its nub. That's basically it. Where the hell do I go with this movie, Mr. Ben Harley?
I don't know, Tim. I know when I texted you, I started this movie early in the morning one day while I was printing, and I think I texted you. I didn't want to text you too early.
Right.
It's like you being an hour behind and all, but I was like, I said, I really think this was too early in the morning for me to start this film. And wow, geez. There's the Dutch or whatever. I don't know. They look like something out of like the is the Nutcracker Dutch, Timo?
I don't know.
But that's what it looked like. It
Yeah.
looked like a bunch of guys from the Nutcracker.
Yeah,
really.
it did. Yeah.
And Timo, there was a gentleman who had one of the finest mustachios of all time.
Oh man, come on. That was not a mustache. That was an orangutan giving that guy's face a full Nelson. Come on. There's no way.
That was a thing of beauty, my friend. Oh, yeah. So I don't know, Timo. Basically, yeah, the Dutch, man, they're cruel and they're just beating up on the peasants.
Yeah.
And then this guy, the warrior, which, he's
kind of a superhero.
He's kind of noodly. He's not the best. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess he could beat up on some of them Dutch, the Nutcracker lowlifes or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. When it comes to fighting some of these other guys, man, he's not so tough at first. He really isn't.
These weren't exactly Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee kung fu moves or nothing. They kind of were just kicking at each other and slapping each other around.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. So basically, so he gets away from the Dutch, I do believe, Timo, right? And then they hire a thug or a goon, or actually, I take that back. They put out which I love. They put out a poster, saying that they're looking for someone, to fight the warrior, I believe, or whatever. They're just looking, they're looking for a hired gun,
right?
And so his guy goes, to the Dutch embassy, I guess. Is that what it would be?
I have no idea where the hell he's going.
And he fights everybody, like guards. He fights people swinging like they got chainmail or what are the mace or whatever, right? Yeah, the guy's got a mace and he's swinging that. He takes on those guys. He gets shot. They can't shoot him. He pummels everybody and then goes up and talks to
swords break on his body.
Oh yeah. And then he goes up and he runs into orangutan mustache.
Yeah.
And that guy still is not impressed. He says, "Well, you will have to do a test of strength." What do you mean? The guy just got shot like 12 times. He beat up everybody. Yeah.
Right.
Like you said, swords are breaking over. And you still need to test this guy? So then they make him fight a bull. Oh. And then they make him fight a bull. And he does. He wrestles that bull right down, man. And so I guess, the bull didn't have a pistol. So, I don't know. I guess I don't know. But anyways,
It's hilarious when he goes through the brick wall or the wall the bull does. I don't know if he tosses him through it or that's hilarious.
Yeah. There's just some insane stuff. So really they send that guy. Is that Tobar?
Yeah, it's Tobar. He proves pretty ineffective. Yeah, he's pretty effective once he runs across.
Well, he does fight the warrior. He does okay. Yeah. But his weakness, which you would think a guy who just took on bullets and swords and a bull would be pretty impervious to pain, right? You'd think. But no, bamboo, Timo. He shoved a little bamboo. He shoved that bamboo stick in his mouth. And that was it.
That's it.
That was it. That was his Achilles heel.
Right.
I don't know, Timo, if you want to pick it up from here.
Then they go to
a little bit.
Then they go to a voodoo guy who has a hell of a front grill.
Oh, that guy's just bad.
He kind of looks like a cross between John Carradine and Andy Gibb. So they
and animal chin or something.
So they get him to resurrect a corpse, right? Yeah. And my first reaction was, couldn't he have found a corpse with the head? It'd be a lot easier for the corpse to see its way around. Nah, no worries. Yeah. The head's laying around somewhere. So the head gets popped on. So now they've got two like voodoo guys that are kind of like after him, because they got the one guy that resurrected the one voodoo guy. And he's a voodoo type guy too. Yeah. And basically the voodoo is getting really tense and trembling. And that's pretty much the power there. But Harley, this I swear to you, this was more of a I don't know, this was like Zoolander. The battles where there were more pose-offs than there was actually hand battle going on. And hilariously effective effects. I mean, they were actually pretty effective, but they're hilarious because they were terrible at the same time. I thought that I was just going to have to jump out of a 10-story window when they were turning him into a pig. when they turned Jaka Sambung, into a.
Oh, that was a hard that was a hard part. For some reason when you turn humans into maybe it's the whole watching the old Pinocchio when they got turned into the donkey thing. I don't know, man. That is weird to me. And I'm always like, and then so then they turn him into a pig, and then he goes running, the warrior as a pig running through the town or the village, I should say. And then everybody's whipping on him, man. And then he almost gets eaten by like a tiger and alligators.
Right.
He has a couple love interests.
See if you follow me on this. Yeah. It's a cross between the black magic movies and Mystics in Bali. Okay. You remember Mystics in Bali with the floating head with the innards coming out and everything?
Yep.
With those effects. I mean, that is pretty much the same thing. And then they get old Barry Prima. They get the warrior, Jaka Sabun. They get him, and then they smash like tomato paste in his eyes.
Oh, they poke his eyes out.
Talk about a ritual to replace his eyes. You knew his eyes were going to come back. Listen, we've seen Ricky O. His eyes came back. He muscled them back. They just grew back. I mean, the guy punched himself out of cardiac arrest. I mean, so we knew he wasn't going to be without eyes for very long. I thought for sure when they turned him into a pig and they turned him back into a person, his eyes would magically appear. But Jesus, no, they turned him back and he looked worse than he did when he was in jail.
Oh yeah, and then they get like their own. We get our own wizard or
to get his eyes working again and everything. Let me ask you a question.
They take the eyes from the girl who's one love interest that gets shot.
Right.
They take her eyes. And those are some more floating eyes. That was our second set of floating eyes.
Did they have to suspend the eyes to go to the other guy? Was that part of the procedure? Did they have to float in midair?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had to float in midair.
I guess keeps them clean. I don't know.
Yeah.
So so basically they got that.
He gets his eyes back and then he goes on a rampage.
Right. I swear to you though, toward the end of this movie, I was pretty sure that Barry Prima was saving people from different movies. I was like, what the fuck, man? There's people everywhere in this thing. And gun control Nazis rejoice. There is not one gun effective in this entire movie.
No.
I mean, the only person who gets shot was the girl, and that was a plot point. She had to get shot. Right. And that was it. Nobody else. I mean, they are firing into groups of people and they keep running at them. Well, just put the guns down and just kick at them or something.
There are bayonets on them guns. Right?
Yeah, it's true. And then in the end fight, you don't see one person die. People just fall asleep on like curbs and things and like stoops, and they're just laying around. That's the laziest battle of all time because they get tired and just lay down, it seems like. This movie is fucking insane.
I know we're not really doing it justice because the thing is, though, there's so much bizarre things that go on. Like you said, there's guys that they get their leg cut off. The one guy, and then
it pops back. It doesn't grow back.
Flies right back onto his leg.
Right. And what does he say to him? He goes, "Ha! Can you lose an appendage and come back?" What the hell is up with these people and laughing too?
I don't know.
It's like, you don't have to do that for me to know you're a villain. It's all right.
You need the snidely whiplash mustachio. Well, that guy had a good mustache. I must say that was
God,
real. I had to send you a couple photos of him.
Well, the Andy Gibb, John Carradine lookalike guy. I swear to you, man, that guy. That guy was so skinny, he could hide in an empty jail cell. You never find him. It was awful. I mean, he was like, gee. Now, I know these people weren't exactly rolling in food and money. But
you don't think this movie made him a lot of money?
Made somebody some money. I think a lot of it went to the mustache costuming. Most of the budget went to it. Yeah. There's a
lot that goes on.
There's a lot that goes on in this movie. It's like one of those kitchen sink movies. It is like Ricky O, Story of Ricky or something like that. It's insane. Now, there is other films in this series. Like this is a character he played. So I mean, there's more of them, and I do believe there's like I said, the sword, the devil's sword, and a couple other ones like the warrior and the swordsman or something like that they did. So I the only one thing I can think of is how I found this movie and how I got it to you was watching Mystics in Bali.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, because that's Indonesian as well. And so you can definitely see the a lot of rope work, man. I swear to you, there's some moments where some dummies go flying.
I think I saw the greatest dummy scene of all time. It was in this film. Yeah. It's so bad. It made the Three Stooges dummies look way convincing.
Yeah. This movie was high entertainment. It's not boring. No, because even in a slow part, like the guy comes up with the huge grill, the huge teeth. I mean, you're just guffawed by it. You just like, the hell? And then Barry Prima. I mean, when Angie said, it was really hard not to think Biosphere. Yeah. You know, every time, like, she said, and she was right. I mean, you could see it. It wasn't like she had to say it, but it was like one of those things where everybody's thinking this. Everybody's thinking this. You know, that is Pauly Shore. So, he was even built like him.
Oh yeah, he's not much of a warrior. I must say, he out of all the movies I think I've ever seen, he probably took a bigger whooping than RoboCop did before he became RoboCop. As far as, you know what I mean, like he just takes a whooping throughout the movie, but then he comes back at the end. But I love this movie, Tim. I really, really enjoyed it. It's bizarro enough that I don't know how you could not have fun with it. It's just I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a little early though, buddy, for me.
Oh well, yeah. I don't know. I've seen 9-year-olds playing G.I. Joe with more convincing fight techniques than some of this, though. I mean, they're like kicking at their knees and stuff. It's a big great bait, bub. It's fun as hell. This is a really fun movie. It was up there with Oily Maniac or something like that. It was. Yeah, a lot like that, or Mystics in Bali and things like that. So this was a fun one. I do believe, who put this out? I think Mondo Macabro. I think Mondo Macabro put it out. I think so. I know they put out The Devil's Sword. I'm pretty sure they put a lot of these out. Now, The Devil's Sword, I do believe, has got some ladies in it. So, and I do believe fighting snake turtles. So really? So if we get a hold of that one, then it might be one worth checking out too. So, but as far as The Warrior, big great bait bub, just for the entertainment value, one of the worst movies I've seen, but just it's fitfully entertaining. It's hilarious. Big fun great bait bub for that one. How about you?
Yeah, same thing. I really enjoyed this movie, and I think anyone who's remotely like a fan of this genre type, well, I don't even know what genre you want to call this. It's got a little bit of everything.
Bad movies.
But, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's fun. It's definitely fun. And I enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend watching it at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Right. No.
Like that.
It needs to be late at night with some poisons next to you. Yeah. With some intoxicants next to you for sure. You know, it's funny,
I still enjoyed every minute of it. I really did.
Right. It was funny. Me and Angie took a break. We went out and had a smoke. And I told her, I was like, and I know she's been around me, us, everyone long enough now to get this, but I said, this is before you knew me. This is what you were missing and what a lot of people miss about why people like these awful bad movies. Yeah. Because they're so much fun to watch. If you watch them like excited, like, oh, this is going to be terrible. It's going to be great. It doesn't, what's the golden rule of these movies? It does not break. It is not boring. It's not boring. No. And that's the huge up for it. So 2 great bapes up, 2 big ones for The Warrior. And I got a mild grape ape, and you got a for Revenge of Frankenstein. Need a Frankenstein monster, a legit one. Need a Frankenstein monster one. Otherwise, not too bad. Put together well, good acting and stuff like that. So Ben Harley next week. Sure. Not sure what we're doing, but until then, stay spooky, and we'll talk to you then.
Keep it creepy, people.
You've been listening to the Tim O and Harley Show, brought to you by ScreenPrintingFactory.com, your affordable one-stop solution to all your screen printing needs.